Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here today to the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 Texas Motor Speedway action for the NASCAR Cup Series here tonight on the channel. Proud to bring you guys this one. We've got no practice or qualifying heading into this race. Ryan Blaney going to try to make it 3 wins in a row. He is the first driver to not only win back-to-back races this season, but the first driver to win more than one race on the year. We are 6 races in, so already 5 different winners on the season. We'll see if we'll have another one. He'll be starting from the back tonight. Now let's take a look at the notes before the start of this race here today. Busch brothers on the front row. Kurt Busch will be starting on the pole with Kyle Busch starting in second. Chase Elliott, Bobby Carter going to be dropping to the rear of the field at the start of the race, and Christopher Bell will likely be struggling over the course of the race here today. And again, of course, Blaney at the rear of the field as well because he did not practice or qualify. Analysis coming into this one here tonight. The green flag is in the air. 334 laps, 500 miles in today's race. 105 laps in the opening stage of the race, and we are using the controller here today. Green flag, though, is in the air. Trying to go for the Texas sweep. We won the truck race. We won the Xfinity Series race. Now looking to win the Cup race. Blaney already dropping all the way to the back on the opening lap here. Side by side for the lead as the first lap is in the books on this 1.5 mile D-shaped oval. Brian O'Born, welcome to the stream. 3 wide now, just in front of where Ryan Blaney's at on the racetrack. Ooh, Blaney got a little tight. Corner exit off of turn 4. Slight contact with the 51 of Joey Gase. It's going to be a very interesting race today to see what this number 12 car can do. Blaney coincidentally also running the body armor paint scheme for tonight's race. First time this season. That paint scheme will be ran on this 12 car. Yep, this is Texas Motor Speedway. Big run down the end of the front stretch there for Blaney to get underneath Bobby Carter. Pass him. Now he's working on Chad Fincham in the 49. But Blaney's car's a little tight at the beginning of the run here, and that's why he's not able to complete the passes on even the back marker cars at the back of the pack. Definitely tell he's got some straightaway speed, though. He's just kind of struggling in the center of the corners right now, especially in turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4, it's a little more banked. He's running a little bit faster on that end of the racetrack. So we ran a career mode episode last night. Brian, we had to postpone the Cup race till tonight because the PS4 software update did not get done updating until like 9:15. It was going to be way too late to start the race, so we decided to do a career mode episode instead, so it was a little bit quicker. Get it done a lot earlier than, obviously, if we would have ran the Cup race, it would have been way too late. So I had to postpone that till tonight, and we are here in this one, back and better than ever. That's the lap of the race in the first handful of laps that have been completed right now. Blaney, again, slowly but surely trying to make his way through the field. It's 105 laps in the opening stage. You got to be patient. It's going to be very close to whether or not this will be a 1 or 2 stop opening stage. All 3 stages pretty much equal in length for the most part. Blaney looking to the outside of John Hunter Nemechek into turns 1 and 2. Blaney did get the win at Miami. Coming in on back-to-back wins into this race tonight at Texas. Currently sitting third in the point standings as well coming into this race here tonight. Slowly moving himself on up. Trying to get closer to perhaps winning that regular season championship. Still got 20 races yet to try to seal the deal there. Hopefully he can get himself in the top 10 and have a look at stage points in this opening stage of the race. Tyler Burback, welcome to the stream. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't think Texas or Atlanta should have 500-mile dates. I completely agree with that as well. Only races that should probably be that long: Daytona, Talladega, Southern 500 for tradition at Darlington, and then the Coke 600 still being 600 miles. Let it be known as the endurance race in NASCAR. So, yeah, for sure. I think those are too long. Remember Pocono when that race was 500 miles twice a year too? That was extra long. That didn't need to be that long, and they shortened that to 400 miles, and then this year was even shorter than that because they ran the doubleheader. So they shortened the lengths even more. Of course, Atlanta used to have 2 500-mile dates too. Now they have 1, and then they're getting 2 dates again next year. Not sure if they're both going to be 500 or not. I'd like them to both be under 500 in length. Diamond Jeff, welcome to the stream. Blaney just completed the pass there on Cole Custer and Eric Jones. Working on BJ McLeod, Austin Dillon, Corey LaJoy just right around him right now. And there's a little gap in that pack of about 4 cars a little further up ahead. On this racetrack, it's so hard to pass. You're going to see track position being a huge key, a huge factor in this race tonight. Elliott trying. Oh man, Elliott clipped the grass on the front stretch there. He was going to try to take it 3 wide. He had a run. That kind of stalled his momentum out. Now he still takes it 3 wide. What a move by Chase Elliott. He's definitely got speed in the race car that he was able to do that. Remember, Chase started at the back as well with Ryan Blaney, and he's made his way up the field, through the field a little bit quicker. Both still outside the top 15, but they're working their way through, and on a track that's kind of difficult to pass on, they're almost making it look easy right now. Now Blaney's got the run to the outside of Elliott for that 17th spot, and he'll pass him on the outside going into turns 1 and 2. That's one thing about these 500-mile races, though. You really do have to pace yourself. Of course, Blaney won the last 500-mile race at Atlanta, and we had a thriller there all the way throughout the course of the race. So we'll see if that'll be the case here in this one. That is very entertaining. It'll make it worth a watch throughout the course of the night. I think the only reason that Pocono never lost a date is because they're keeping the doubleheader. Especially with not being able to have fans at the track for it last year. I'll be there next year, I can guarantee that. I was supposed to be there this year for the doubleheader, so I can definitely attest that I will be there next year for the doubleheader. Obviously, assuming they have fans, but I think most races next year will have at least some sort of fans. I mean, you guys saw how at the end of this season, all but Vegas and the playoffs had fans. Vegas and Richmond were the only 2 playoff races without fans, so then they had fans at Daytona for the road course, the oval, And then the Dover doubleheader, they didn't have fans. So you had fans for 10 of the last 14 races this season, and I think that will only become more often next year. I think the only racetracks next year you're going to have to worry about are going to be at the beginning of the year out west. I think Phoenix, because they're having fans, they'll probably have fans. I think Vegas and Auto Club are going to be the two tracks that are going to be kind of iffy next year on if they'll have fans or not again, because it's early in the year, so it's only in February. And they both didn't have fans this year. Well, Auto Club happened before, so I guess they did have fans, because that was before the COVID outbreak and the pandemic. Obviously Vegas, on the other hand, again, just recently they didn't have fans there, so we'll see. But anyway, yeah, they should be there for Pocono next year for both races of the doubleheader. Yeah, we'll have to see. I definitely want to go to that one too. That is for sure. Bristol dirt race. I'd love to go for both Bristol races next year, quite honestly. Bristol and dirt in March, and then go to the playoff race in September for the night race. I was there for the All-Star race last year, and that was awesome experience. I definitely want to go back for the night race, but now that they're running on dirt too, why not try to go there also? It's the same track, but it's a different track at the same time. It's going to race completely different, that's for sure. Joshua White, welcome to the stream. So here in the early going of the race, Ryan Blaney's moved himself up to 13th, just over 21 laps complete, still 10.5 seconds off the lead. Not sure, of course, who was leading in the early going of the race here. Again, 105 laps will make up stage one. Another 550 horsepower racetrack. This is actually the third consecutive mile and a half as well. And I think that's largely due to the success Blaney's had in the early going of the season, at least in the last couple races with the wins coming on mile and a half. So we'll see if that'll be the case here tonight. He's getting faster over the course of the run. That last lap was his fastest lap that time. Yeah, that is definitely a bummer there, Joshua. Sounds like it might have been an enjoyable race though for it to come that close to the end. Leaning to the outside of De Benedetto for 12th. Easily going to get around him with the run off of turn 4. Again, 3 and 4. I mention this a lot whenever we come to Texas, but it's a little easier to run that middle to upper line there. 1 and 2, not so much. It's a little flatter. 20 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2, 24 and 3 and 4. So although it might not seem like that much of a difference, it really is. And obviously the most recent repave back in 2017 on top of it, on top of that reconfiguration, definitely doesn't help the multiple racing grooves on this track. That's why you have seen the PJ1 in place both last season at the end of the year and as well as in the first race at Texas this season. I'm sure you'll see it again when they race there next week. Not this week, they race at Kansas, but then the following week, next week, they race at Texas. Blaney's just cracked the top 10 now. He just got around Kurt Busch for 10th. Off of turn 4, and a lot more lap traffic just up ahead. Oh, man, he got right in the back of Joey Gase down the front stretch. That's going to cost him a little time. Gase moves high, allows Blaney to go up the middle between him and Timmy Hill now. And Blaney just closed in on Gase so quickly there. Yeah, Blaney does have a lot of nice paint schemes. The other thing that's cool about collecting die casts. Now he's going to get around Kenseth for 9th place. You can tell the car's loosening up a little bit more, but loose is fast when you can hang on to it. And right now he is definitely hanging on to it as he shoots the gap for 8th on Johnson now in the center of the corner. Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano all right around him for position. Blaney is down to the inside, 3 wide for position into turn 1. Blaney will overtake both Harvick and Hamlin for 5th. So move him into the top 5 for the first time tonight. Still 6.5 seconds off the lead, but he is trying to charge to the front of the field here in this one. Oh man, really loose there. Yep, indeed, the Kansas truck race is going to be this weekend. Hailie Deegan making her debut. I won't expect too much. The good thing is she has ran an ARCA race there. At least one. I don't know if ARCA's raced there this year, but I remember last year when she only ran 6 ARCA races, she raced there, and that was one of her better races, so. If she finishes in the top 10, that's a solid performance, because that truck field is competitive, plus with it being in the playoffs, you know the playoff drivers are definitely going to be running hard up towards the front as much as they can, so that might make it a little bit more difficult for Hailie in getting a good finish this weekend. That being this late in the year, with it being her debut in the truck series and no practice or qualifying, and you have these other drivers that have been racing in the series all year, and for most of them now. Last couple laps, Blaney's just caught lap cars in terrible spots. Now he gets the run to the outside. Keselowski still, as they split Nemechek 3 wide there. Blaney up to 4th. So he's the highest running Penske Ford right now, but all 3 of them are inside the top 10, running 4th, 5th, and 6th. Very true, though. Yeah, indeed. Kansas probably the best mile and a half right now in the Cup Series, given the package that they've been running. And it's supposed to be cooler temperatures this weekend. I guess it's only supposed to be a high of like 58, so that'll probably help the racing for sure. Ryan Newman having a good start in 3rd place right now. About to drop back to 4th once Blaney gets around him. Oh, he had a run off turn 4, but he got a little loose, and then he got caught behind Eric Jones on the bottom as well. Now he's stuck right behind Ryan Newman going into turn 1. He's just going to have to follow Ryan on the outside, it looks like. In the draft, now gets a run down the back straightaway. Ryan Blaney will jump up to 3rd. Martin Truex Jr. leads at Texas in the early going of the race tonight. Kyle Busch about a half a second roughly behind him, and Blaney is just about 3.5 seconds off the lead. It's taken him about 2/3 of the tire run to get through the field, but he's still not all the way through it yet. Thanks, Jeff. That'd be cool, but realistically, that probably won't happen. Especially with no experience outside of quarter midgets and go-karting, and my last experience at a go-kart was like a year and a half ago, so it's been a little bit. Yeah, but the thing is, though, with Daytona and Talladega, because those are the only 2 races on the schedule that are super speedways, that's what makes them exciting and unique. If you added more super speedways, I feel like it was just kind of, you'd almost become too used to it. And then going to Talladega twice a year wouldn't mean as much when you have like another track or 2 that you can go to of the same, you know, racing. Like, you would probably only be able to go to Dega once. Or should only go to Dega once if that was the case. And for tradition's sake, probably still go to Daytona twice on the oval, but If they had one more, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but quite honestly, probably only give a track like that one date if they did. So Blaney has caught the leaders. He's going to get around Kyle Busch for second easily there. Truex on the bottom. Blaney goes full throttle through 3 and 4. Trying to take the advantage on the bottom of the racetrack. Ryan Blaney to the lead off of turn 4. He'll lead his first lap of the race at the line at lap 39 here tonight. So Ryan Blaney has just led his first lap of the race. He has finally gotten his way through the field, and he's on a rocket ship here tonight. MONRT25 Gamer, welcome to the stream. .334 lapper, 500 miles here tonight at Texas. So still in the early going of the race, but already only 66 laps left in stage 1. Just trying to take it one stage at a time, trying to get the playoff point if we can obviously do so. Lap traffic definitely a factor now. Blaney's trying to put as many drivers a lap down as he can for whenever we might get a first caution in the race in this one. Obviously, assuming we get a caution for an incident. Already only 16 drivers on the lead lap. Car's a little loose, but he's still got a decent amount of grip. Three wide underneath the lap cars of Ross Chastain, Michael McDowell. Alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race here tonight. In stage number 1, again just a few laps after Ryan Blaney has taken the lead. Chase Elliott, who started at the back, going to go a lap down now. So a long green flag run to start the race on a track that usually doesn't wear out tires as much, at least since the repave, and they got rid of most of the bumps on this racetrack, of course. Right front tire is getting pretty worn out on Blaney's car, though, down to 20% already. It goes to show how hard he was driving after starting at the back to get to the front of the field as quick as he possibly could. So he's going to try to take this run as far as he can before he hits pit road, trying to make this a one-stop opening stage of the race. Because for most of the field, it is going to be a one-stop stage. Likely not a lot of tire fall off for most of the field here, so no sense of pitting twice. It will definitely be a 4-tire stop, and again, no limit to how many tires we can take in a Cup Series race. It is unlimited over the course of the race. Much like the Truck Series race when we were loose on the outside of the, loose around this racetrack on the longer run. We ran the outside in turns 3 and 4, and it kind of helped tighten the car up just a little bit. And that's the case here today in the Cup Series race as well. Running the top side through 3 and 4 just seems like we have a little bit more grip. Even though the faster ways around the bottom, we have a little bit better car control, as you saw right there. At least when we seem to exit straighter on the outside, that is. Turns 1 and 2, it's a lot harder to run that lane though. Again, it's a little flatter. Ryan Blaney is putting a lot of cars a lap down in the early going of the race here. Matt Kenseth is in 10th place right now as he goes to the outside in 3 and 4. Blaney on the bottom. Blaney full throttle down there. He's going to be able to pass him off of turn 4. Oh, Blaney got loose. Almost got in the grass. Oh, a little contact with Kenseth. Kenseth gets loose and he wipes out. And Blaney hits him. There's a wreck going down the front stretch into turn 1. Blaney across the back of the middle of the track. Everybody misses him. And we stay green somehow, some way at Texas. A dangerous situation going into turn 1. How Blaney didn't get in the wall, I'm not sure, but very fortunate to not have another car hit him as well. Right at lap 50. And all that track position he had is now lost all of a sudden. Lead is down to about 1.5 seconds. Not sure exactly how far ahead he was right there. And that could have very easily knocked him out of the race early on, but he is very fortunate to keep going. So an early incident there for the race leader nonetheless, trying to put Kenseth the lap down, who was in 10th. And that was pretty ugly to say the least. That was not pretty at all. Saw that wild ride from that front bumper camera as well. Kenseth looked like he had it saved at first, but then he went around. He ricocheted off the wall, which ended up he got back into Blaney after they made contact the first time. That's what ended up sending Blaney around. It was a chain reaction of events, though, because, again, Ryan Blaney got loose off of turn 4. He was trying to keep it out of the grass, which he did for the brief moment. And there's Matt Kenseth. So Kenseth had to pit. He had way too much damage on his race car after getting that right side of the car into the wall there. That was definitely a tough break for Kenseth. Blaney's going to stay out of the pits one more lap here. So cross flags were halfway in stage 1. That's what Blaney wanted to see. He wanted to get to that halfway mark. And now he'll pit this time by so he can still make it a one-stop stage. That's also why Blaney did not pit as soon as he spun there. He wanted to make sure he got to the halfway point. 3 wide into turn 3 there. He's going to clear Austin Dillon and Eric Jones. Blaney coming to pit road. 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. Gets down easily in time. Only 3 seconds of damage, luckily, as well, so Blaney can repair the damage on the race car perfectly fine. He'll have enough fuel to get to the end of the stage to make this a one-stop stage. He'll have 5% more tape as well. So here comes the 4-tire stop. Yeah, I am not sure at all why there wasn't a caution there. 18.2 second stop. Again, the 3 seconds of damage for Blaney. At least under the 5-second damage clock. We were able to repair it. Car's as good as new now, coming back out onto the racetrack again. So Blaney merges back up onto the track. He's 1 lap down in 17th coming out of the pits here. He was first of the leaders to hit pit road outside of Kenseth, who again was in 10th, and then obviously had the damage sustained. He pitted about a lap or two before Blaney did. But now Blaney's got the fresh tire advantage, despite his car being a little bit tight. It could have been the big one at Texas, that is for sure. We have seen some big accidents on the front stretch before off of turn 4. Actually saw one in the race earlier this season. They were 4 wide off of turn 4, and then Truex and Kyle Busch got together, and Truex went hard, driver's side door into the wall first, and there was a huge crash. Also, go back to, I believe it was 2010. I know it's the Car of Tomorrow dates. It was either 2010 or 2011, but I believe it was 2010 in the spring race. It was ran on a Monday because it got rained out on a Sunday. There was a big instance where they were 3 or 4 wide there as well, between Johnson, Stewart, and Gordon, and they all got together. A big crash on the front stretch as well. So that definitely could have been a big accident. Very surprised there was no caution. So we have still stayed caution free up to this point. And the rest of these leaders should be coming to pit road eventually here. Blaney's getting the advantage by pitting before them, and he was just inside the halfway mark of the stage, so everybody should make it on one stop. Yep, first/last pit stop of the opening stage of the race. The next stop shouldn't be coming until the end of stage 1. As you see the rest of the leaders on pit road right now, or at least some of them making their way down to pit road that lap. We could very well see 5 wide at Kansas this weekend. If I remember correctly, we might have even seen 5 wide at Kansas first time we were there this year. They ran that Thursday night race. Ryan Blaney's made his way up to 8th. He's got about a handful of lap older tires compared to Truex. It's not really going to make a difference here. Most other tracks it would, but not at Texas. Truex just has a faster short run car. Again, Blaney's car's a little tight at the beginning of the run. Took him to lap 20 just to get inside the top 20, so. We'll see. Kyle Busch actually has now jumped up to 2nd place. Truex must have got caught behind a lap car when he came out of the pits. Truex is caught right back up to Kyle again. I don't know if Kyle had an incident there or what the case was. Maybe he was just coming out of the pits and was barely ahead of him. Could have been the case. So Blaney's got about a 9.5 second lead. And again, the only adjustment made was adding a little bit more tape to the front grille of the race car. He added about 5% more tape, so. Oil temperatures. Ryan Blaney's car at the end of the straightaway still isn't even, I mean, it's right around 235 maybe at the most, so might even be able to add a little bit more tape. Again, you can run that to about 260 before it starts to get hot. Ooh. I think Christopher Bell might have ran his car out of gas. Look out back there in turns 3 and 4. Ryan Preece had to go high to avoid him. Coasting it to pit road for Christopher Bell. I believe he stayed out a little too long and he ran it out of fuel. He's trying to hope for a caution. Remember, he was outside the top 30 at the start of the race and pretty much was running there since. So I don't blame him for trying to stay out as long as he could. hope for a caution, at least get a couple of those laps back, but that wasn't the case there. Truex has closed the gap. He has gotten around Kyle Busch for second place again, and he is only 6.5 seconds off the lead. So he is running Blaney down here in stage 1. 40 laps to go in the opening stage, and again, still caution free. Yeah, that'd be a little bit of a bummer there for Austin. At least it would still help him in the point standings, so he's not a lock to finish inside the top 10 in points by any means. I think he's sitting, I believe he's sitting 10th right now, barely above Blaney and barely behind Kyle Busch for 9th, if I'm remembering correctly. Actually, it might be the other way around. Austin Dillon might be 9th. Kyle Busch barely ahead of Blaney. I know Blaney's 11th. Even though he got eliminated in the first round. Blaney's had a good playoff right now. I mean, he's still got a shot to finish 5th in points, so I'm still pulling for him week in and week out. If he gets the top 5 points finish, that'd be a career best. Finish the season strong, get that momentum heading towards next year. Oh, man. It's a checkup there. Bubba Wallace checked up, and that's because we have a car up in smoke that is making his way to pit road. I believe it was Josh Bilicki in the number 7, and that costed Blaney some time because Bubba Wallace checked up, and now look at the lap traffic all of a sudden ahead of Ryan Blaney, and Truex is within 3 seconds of the lead with this heavy lap traffic coming up, and Blaney cannot get around Bubba Wallace. I mean, he is trying desperately right now, and he's just not able to get around him. Kyle's 10th, gotcha. So yeah, Austin would be 9th, I believe. Still can't get around Wallace. 3 wide to the bottom goes Blaney. Underneath Wallace and Carter down the back straightaway into turn 3. Boy, he drove it in there deep, and Wallace is going to cross him over. He's going to clear Bobby Carter. 3 wide middle. Oh, contact. Blaney goes around into the wall hard. Huge crash off of turn 4. Up against the wall again. A major incident there, and we still stay green. Bobby Carter's parked against the wall. 3 wide. Blaney was stuck in the middle. Heavy damage to the front of that race car and the back of it for that matter. And now we get a caution. Caution is now out. Very delayed. But we actually do get the caution this time. Heavy damage to the number 12 machine. And that is not repairable. How he is still in this race, I am not sure. He was lucky with the Kenseth incident earlier, but not lucky at all with that one. While leading an accident, bringing out our first caution of the race with just 35 laps to go in stage 1. Man. Yeah, that caution was very delayed for some reason, but finally came out. Carter was just parked against the wall. Oh, I meant to pit there, and oh well. Yeah, we cannot repair the damage. We only have 5 seconds worth of damage, and that is heavily going to slow down this number 12 of Ryan Blaney the rest of the way. 32 laps to go in stage number 1. He's going to get through the gears pretty quickly. Look at Blaney with the damaged race car. What a restart, and he's all the way to the lead. Denny Hamlin just kind of followed him through there to get around his Joe Gibbs Racing teammates. Here comes Logano. Kyle Busch in the mix. And that 12 car is really tight right now. Pushing up the track, 3 wide for the lead off of turn 4. Busch is on the outside. Blaney was stuck in the middle for a second. Logano was on the bottom. Hamlin trying to push. Ryan Blaney about turns him going into turn 1. And he put him in the wall. Hamlin's still all over the back bumper of the 12 car. 4 wide back behind him. Crazy restart here at Texas. Could be the final restart of the stage. 12 cars really tight. Hamlin about put him in the wall though, regardless. Surprised those oil temps still not running that hot. Lenny's got to stay on the track and keep digging. I meant to come down and take 4 tires, but I kind of ran myself out of time there under the yellow, explaining what went down. Still in 11th, and that's where it's good to know that a lot of those drivers were a lap down. But the chances of Ryan Blaney winning 3 in a row now are going to be very tough the rest of the way. He's going to be lucky just to make it to the end of the race at this point with how beat up that race car is. I mean, it is very badly hurt. It's the second hard crash that we have seen by somebody in the race today. Kenseth's got the worst end of that first one, although we didn't get a caution for it. And then, of course, Blaney and Bobby Carter got the worst ends of this one. Caution. Caution's out for the second time tonight. Free pass will go to Chase Elliott in 13th. Kyle Busch was in the lead at the timing of the yellow. 4 fresh tires going to be coming on this race car. 1 round of wedge being taken out of the car and 5% more tape being added as well. So major adjustments here from the 12 camp of Ryan Blaney. And he's only going to lose one spot on the restart. He should restart 12th. Again, very few drivers on the lead lap. Elliott with the free pass has to restart at the back of the pack, so we'll have another restart in the stage. How about Matt DiBenedetto running 3rd right now? Great run for him. Nope, I can't do it. 5-second damage clock. We cannot repair damage. Here we go, green flag back in the air. We'll see what the fresh tires can do here for Blaney. Plus that wedge adjustment, he was really tight with the damage immediately. He's been a little tighter with the 4 fresh tires as well. Oh wow, Denny Hamlin with a dive bomb move there. Quickly try to get to the bottom. Wiring just going to slide underneath him. Just being extremely tight at the beginning of the run is not helping the 12 car even with the fresh tires. Tell the straightaway speed's a little bit better, but that's about it. Trying to hold his line in the middle. Cars passing him on the inside. On the outside, a little more contact with Corey LaJoie. Definitely a dangerous spot there once again. Big move by Blaney to get right back down to the bottom of the track again there. Oh man, just slid back up the racetrack. Still able to stay in front of Stenhouse. Ricky almost got underneath him 3 wide there. They are 3 wide still. Stenhouse going to give Blaney a shot down the front stretch. Trying to help him out a little bit. A little side draft on Custer going off into turn 1. 4 wide there for a brief moment. Stenhouse going to push Blaney, and that just shot him right into the 41. Sorry, that's not Stenhouse. That is Quinn Haupt that pushed him that time. Perhaps a rookie error from Haupt. Not gonna lie, I'm quite surprised how slow the car got. It seemed like we were faster on the last run compared to what we are now. Elliott trying to get around Blaney for 12th. Blaney left the lane open there for a second, and now Elliott's going to sneak under him after all. So that will drop Blaney back another spot to 13th. So now the key factor is for Blaney, stay on the lead lap as long as you can. First goal, stay on the lead lap to the end of the stage. Ryan Blaney was dominating the middle portion of stage 1 there until that hard accident. He's got to salvage every point he can get today. Even if he can't get stage points, he's got to salvage every point so he can stay in a strong hunt for the regular season title. We have a tough string of races coming up. Over the next handful of races, probably the toughest stretch of the regular season. Next race at Bristol for the Food City 500. That will be on Saturday. Sunday, we'll be racing at Richmond. So back-to-back short tracks. And then we go to Talladega, the race after that, followed by Dover and the Coke 600 at Charlotte. So a very tough string of races over the next 5. Oh, almost some contact up ahead. 3 wide. I believe that was Joey Case that got really loose in the middle. Blaney going to try to pay closer attention to the upper left-hand corner of the screen. See how he kind of goes up against the leaders, because he's slowly gaining on the cars ahead of him, but he's still losing time to the race leader. That's going to be time that's going to be tough to gain back the rest of the way. Oil time's not running real high, right around 250. Laps to go, stage 1. Over 100 laps into the race at lap 95 currently. No problem there, Joshua. Tyler, I understand. Maybe a little bit of frustration with me not repairing the damage, but I gotta stay consistent to the rules. We have up to during the course of all 3 seasons up to this point, it would defeat the purpose of repairing the damage now and then not repairing it going forward. Especially if I did come back to win the race because I repaired the damage, because I'm still on the lead lap. So if I repaired the damage, by no means would I be out of it this early in the race. Just got to keep fighting. Stay in the lead lap as long as possible and maybe hope that things can go our way on strategy the rest of the race. Tough track to pass the leader. We saw that in the truck and the Xfinity race. We'll see here in the Cup Series how that will be the case. Austin Dillon getting that side draft right back on Blaney there. 8 to go in stage 1, and Blaney might be hoping for another caution before the end of the stage. Well, somebody might have a problem too, because he gained a ton of time off of turn 2 on the race leader at least. Gained about a second all of a sudden. It was about 16 seconds off the lead, and then he turned to about 15 seconds, and that would be why lap car Timmy Hill up in smoke, we stay green. Fortunately for Blaney, that won't gain him a position. It's tough to see the back marker cars have troubles. We saw Balicki have a problem earlier. He's back on the track, but now Timmy Hill up in smoke right there. But Blaney is gaining time. Again, if we can get a late race caution. Seems like he gets near the halfway point of the run, and he does have about 15 lap pressure tires too. Just starts off the beginning of the run a little too tight, but he'll keep working on the race car going forward. Maybe keep making some wedge adjustments. He's definitely passing these lap cars back here. But yeah, speed-wise, definitely even with the leaders, and he's in dirtier air right now, too. 5 laps to go, stage 1. 100 laps now complete at Texas Motor Speedway here tonight. 2 cautions in the opening stage of the race. Went over 70 laps before getting the first caution. Don't think he can get back to the top 10. Chase Elliott's about 2 seconds ahead of him in 12th. He might be able to catch him depending on how lap traffic goes. DiBenedetto fell back to 11th after restarting 3rd. Indeed, lap traffic could be hurting the leaders as well. Order to go for Blaney here. Boyer right in front of him, but Kenseth already on the outside. Oh man, a little bit of a hole there. Up the middle goes Blaney now. He's kind of bump drafting Ross Chastain to get through there. 2 cars were faster than one down the front stretch. Even Chastain being slower, holding these guys up, and now Blaney can't quite pass him. So with 2 laps left in stage 1, we can pretty much assure Blaney will not get stage points in the opening stage. We will see who will get the first green-white checkered flag of the night to win the opening stage, get a playoff point here in about a lap and a half now. Stage ends when the top 10 across the start-finish line. Those will be the only drivers getting awarded any sort of stage points here. But yeah, Blaney's definitely picking up speed second half of the run still. He just loses a lot more in the first half of it than before. And again, he's got 15 lap pressure tires too, which definitely plays a little bit of a difference as well. Just got to make sure he doesn't damage the car the rest of the night. So there it is, the green-white checkered flag in the air. Stage 1 is in the books. Kyle Busch will win Stage 1 at Texas. Winless on the early going of the season here. Martin Truex Jr. second, Keselowski in third, Newman fourth. Kevin Harvick rounds out the top 5, followed by Logano, Johnson, Almirola, Hamlin, and Kurt Busch, your top 10. They will all get stage points. David Reagan will get the free pass of 14th. Pretty good run going on for him in the early going of the race as well. Another wedge adjustment here, 1 round and 5% more tape. Actually, we'll just go a half round just to be safe. So here we go, green flag back in the air. Stage number 2 is now underway. Keselowski lost some spots on that pit stop. Blaney going to jump to the bottom of the racetrack there, right in front of him and right behind Chase Elliott as well. Everybody's getting up to speed here, and Blaney's kind of holding back his teammate. Big pack here, 2, 3 wide up ahead, 3 wide from about 4th. A little bit of a mess inside the top 10. Oh, Blaney about got turned by his teammate, and that clipped him to the inside in front of Bowman now. Four wide, now back in the pack. All these cars zooming to the inside. Blaney holding them up on the top. Quinn Houff trying to push Blaney, get him going down the back straightaway. He's just way too slow at the beginning of the run. Little nudge off the wall there, off of turn 4 as well, didn't help. Little push now from Clint Boyer. Blaney back to the bottom, but no matter how much he loosens that race car up, he's too tight at the beginning of the run with the damage. Man, Ty Dillon almost made contact. He almost rubbed him as he was passing him there. Big side draft to kind of help him. So less than 100 laps left already in stage 2 now after the caution laps at the beginning of the stage. And again, Blaney holding these guys up. Oh man, he tried to move out of Fincham's way. That's why he went to the bottom, and Fincham still got into the back of him. So Blaney letting these guys go right now. He's just going to try to log as many laps as he can back here and maybe hope for a caution midway through the run to kind of shake things up a little bit. Definitely a very unfortunate circumstance in the early going, which had Ryan get in that accident with about roughly 30 laps to go in stage 1, right around that, 25-30 to go. In the opening stage, well after the first pit stop of the race. So Bowman is the first car lap down, by the way, in 15th. He is even 23.5 seconds behind Blaney. So even if Blaney did go a lap down, he's basically looking at Alex Bowman right now. And David Reagan, for that matter, who is about 5 seconds ahead of him after getting the free pass. He's back on the lead lap, so don't mark this 12th car out of it yet. Again, there's a look at the damage on the upper left-hand corner of the screen. The indicator of blinking red is very severe damage both to the back and the front of the race car. A little bit of damage to the radiator, definitely making the speed issues lowering the horsepower. That definitely knocks some speed out of it, and obviously it's really tight with the front bumper damage as well. It's almost like the rear bumper damage is non-existent as far as the handling of the car goes, because it's, I mean, there's just so much damage on the front. Again, very fortunate he didn't get hit by another car after he got in the wall hard, after making contact with another car, which started the accident. Product of hard racing, though. They were 3 wide, 4 position, and Blaney was just kind of stuck right in the middle. Just so tight off of turn 4 at this racetrack. This racetrack really widens out in the corners as far as the lanes, and that's what's one thing that made Texas its own unique. It was very wide for a mile and a half. Racetrack was probably the widest and still is the widest from that white line on the apron all the way up near the wall, but that advantage is kind of taken away again in turns 1 and 2 with the reconfiguration. Yeah, that oil temperature as well, as you see right there, right around 256, 257 consistently. Blaney's already 23 seconds off the lead, so he's about 3/4 of a track behind the leaders. Only at lap 12 in the stage at the line this time by. So he'll probably go a lap down here in about 5 to 6 laps if I had to guess. Again, Kyle Busch did win stage 1. And he was leading a couple different times there as well early in the race, before he had regained the lead after that second caution and the second restart. And you can see the leaders right out of the rear view in that look back camera for Ryan Blaney. Kyle Busch is the race leader, running that outer lane, and Truex is running him down in turns 1 and 2, especially because of it. And he's going to try to hold on to the lead lap as much as he can. Blaney's actually going to be the first car to go a lap down in the stage. Matt Kenseth now has jumped up to 15th. He was in the top 10 together. And he might be taking a little bit of tape off the race car as well when he comes to pit road this next time, but might have just a hair too much on it. For the most part, not really any overheating issues, at least yet. Still hasn't quite caught Brendan Gaughan either. 86 laps to go in stage 2 for the leaders. Kyle Busch all the way to the outside near the wall. Truex is going to follow the line as well. Blaney will go a lap down. Well, he went high to give Truex the bottom, and Truex didn't go. And you're going to get around Brendan Gaughan all of a sudden. Trying to clear going in the center of the corner and go high to let Truex get on by him. Truex lost a ton of time behind Blaney there. Blaney was trying to let him go, but every lane he moved to let Truex by, Truex just kept going in that same lane. He got stuck right behind him. But now there's 2 lap cars right in front of Kyle Busch. Ryan Newman is coming up as well. Dealing with Brendan Gaughan back there now. Truex needs to go to the bottom when he can, especially when Busch goes to the top. He would gain so much time down there. When he goes to the bottom, gonna let Newman pass him around the outside through turns 3 and 4. So Blaney just kind of playing that lap car right now. As long as David Reagan doesn't go lap down, it's 14 seconds ahead of where Blaney's at currently. Everything will be all right. It's Denny Hamlin. Haven't really seen a situation in a cup race where Blaney's had to do this season. Or he's just so slow he can't even battle for the free pass position. Just kind of letting these lead lap cars get around him. Here comes his teammate Brad Keselowski in 5th. Had a run on the outside. Oh, Blaney got tight in the center of the corner, but so did Keselowski. Oh man, Brad about turned his teammate. Good save by Blaney off of turn 4. Again, he doesn't need any more damage. I'm sure it won't even take that hard of a hit off the turn 4 wall and it might knock him out of the race at this point. Tim Irvin, welcome to the stream, by the way. I did not see in the chat earlier. Oh, contact in! There goes Blaney! Contact with the lap car of Joey Gase to the outside, and things go from bad to worse. That's going to bring out the 3rd caution of the race, and he has just knocked himself out of it. We're going to have to take a look at the unofficial results to this race. Remember, Kyle Busch had won stage 1. And that is the first DNF of the season for Ryan Blaney. That is a tough break here to end this one tonight. Kevin Harvick gets the win at Texas, a track that is one of his best in recent years. Denny Hamlin 2nd, followed by Johnson finishing 3rd, Truex 4th, Logano 5th, Ryan Newman 6th, Kyle Busch 7th, Brad Keselowski 8th. 9th was Cole Custer, and Matt Kenseth rounds out the top 10 in this race today. And last place is going to be Ryan Blaney. Well, actually, Timmy Hill DNF, so we're going to finish 39th in the race today. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to do the points myself, this being the first DNF. So we finished stage 1. I can go back and look at that. Go back and look at the stage 1 results. But then for stage 2, yeah, for stage 2, I think we're just going to take the finishing results. So we didn't make it to the end of stage 2. We'll take the finishing results. So the top 10 will get the stage points there for stage 2. I think that's how I'm going to do it for the races I DNF before the end of the stage. again, with live streaming it, I can go back and look at the actual DNFs that might have happened. Or sorry, I mean obviously, but no, I can actually go back and look at how the finishing results went there. Grand Champions for you, welcome to the stream. How do I do the points? Yeah, again, it's just like normal stage points. 1 point through the top 10 for first, obviously, and then you get the playoff points. So Harvick will win stage 2. So your top 10 again will be the stage 2 results for this one. We did not get to the end of stage 2. Again, I knew it wasn't going to take much more contact with the damage on the car at the end of stage 1. We got about midway through stage 2. We were lapped down in 14th, first car lap down, so we were still trying to fight there. A little contact on the front stretch with Joey Gase was just enough. We barely hit the wall, but again, with the damage on the race car up to that point, which was very severe, we had 15 seconds worth. Heavy damage to the front and the back of the car. It didn't take much, and we hit it just enough that we ended up knocking ourselves out of the race, unfortunately. So again, first DNF of the year. That is unfortunate. Thanks, no problem there, Grand Champion for you. This race ended really. We didn't even make it to the halfway mark. We were, but not quite halfway done. We were about 30-40 laps away from the halfway mark. So we'll do a double header tonight, but I think it's just going to be a career mode episode because I do not want to start another race this late. So guess you guys are lucky getting some career mode episodes here out of the blue. So I guess give me about 10 to 15 minutes here, and then we'll get a career mode episode going. And yeah, that will be that. So thanks everybody for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe. We've got some great NASCAR content on the channel. Again, starting my broadcasting career, so these realistic broadcasts with the full race live streams. Season 2 of the career mode will be coming up next again. So please subscribe. Road to 1,000. And again, thanks to everybody for sticking around. Unfortunately, we DNF'd, so kind of a rough finish to this one. It was a fun first stage of the race. Stage 2 obviously did not go according to plan. We take a look at the point standings before we go into the next race as well. Brad Keselowski has the points lead. Blaney drops from 3rd to 4th. Harvick with the win jumps up to 3rd after coming in 5th. So that is going to do it. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you in a little bit.